I found a real wealthy daughter in a dumpster. The system told me to raise him, to scold him and bully him every day, to forge his resilient character. I nodded viciously, saying that's easy. I hate kids the most. 16 years later, I met the family looking for him at the school gate. I was wearing flip-flops and holding to corn dogs. His parents arrived in a luxury car, carrying 16 gifts, making up for every year from 1 to 16. The father looked me up and down and said, "All these years. Thank you for your hard work." The fake daughter leaned against the man, looking timidly at the real daughter sister. "Don't send me away." The daughter gave them a strange look, then ran straight toward me, grabbed the corn dog and said, "Dad, you're eating this again." When I found the real daughter by the trash can, he was just 1 month old. He was very thin and weak. Even his crying was as faint as a dying kitten. But the moment I picked him up, he stopped crying. Those round eyes stared at me, and then suddenly curved into crescents. I frowned and snorted, "Don't think I'll be fooled by you. I'm only raising you for the money." The system was speechless. "Then why are you pinching his cheeks?" I quickly pulled my hand back. Damn it, I got fooled. I soon regained my composure. Sticking to my wicked parenting principle, I bought him the cheapest formula from the baby store, but he didn't seem to like it much. His little nose wrinkled, his eyes full of grievance. How picky. Take it or leave it. But he made babbling sounds and reached out his little hand, grabbing my index finger and shaking it. The next morning, I picked up another part-time job and bought better tasting formula in the evening. That's right, if he doesn't drink good formula, he won't grow up. If he doesn't grow up, how can I trade him for money? When sleeping at night, he was exceptionally quiet. I tossed and turned, checking his breathing every minute, even searching online if it's normal for babies not to cry. Until the 6th time I checked, I finally woke him up. "What are you doing?" "I'm just making sure he's not dead." When the little guy grew strong to 3 years old, I could finally unleash my wicked nature. From today on, I pinched his chubby little cheeks, whispering like a demon, "You will tie your own shoelaces." Maybe it was genetic. The real daughter was very smart. He soon learned to tie his own shoelaces, to sleep by himself, to eat by himself, and even to wash his own socks. What kind of abuse is this again? My plan has just begun. Next, I will make him learn to mop the floor, learn to cook, learn to do dirty and tiring work, make him my slave. This direction is right. What I didn't expect was, the real daughter was very obedient and well-behaved. He would do whatever I told him to, but as his strictest father, I wouldn't allow him to make a single mistake. So after he spilled the mop water, I crossed my arms and scolded him severely. "You are so stupid. Your real parents will surely despise you." Tears welled up in his eyes, and he cried as he ran into his room. I hurriedly followed him and leaned against the door to eavesdrop. The crying inside became softer and softer. I was burning with anxiety. What to do? "Don't tell me he cried until he fainted. That wouldn't be that dramatic, would it?" "You're right. I'll wait another 5 minutes." That's the way. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. Forget it. I'll just go check. Before I finished speaking, I had already pushed the door and went in. When I entered, the real daughter was lying on the table drawing. I picked him up. With a straight face, I explained I was just talking nonsense earlier. "You are so cute. Your parents won't despise you." In the drawing, Dad shows two people, one big and one small. "I don't want anyone else. I only want Dad." I fell silent. "Dad, don't cry." "I'm not crying." Later, I realized that scolding him didn't work at all. Instead, it made me end up tearing up every time. So I changed my tactic. I bought some flashcards and taught him to read fiercely. "What is this now? You don't get it. I want to crush him with studies." On the first day, I taught him pronouns like you, me, him. On the second day, I taught him love and hate. Like, hate, "I love Dad, I love Dad." On the third day, he mastered them all, chirping like a little chick, chasing after me and saying, "I love Dad, I love Dad." I blushed and angrily threw the book. Damn it, it's completely useless. Before he started elementary school, I had to register his household status. That's when I realized I hadn't given him a name. I had just been calling him little guy. This is a critical point. You should give him a name he will never forget for the rest of his life. A name that will make him suffer and struggle. I suggest picking something like a generic name, a name that everyone hates. I thought about it for a whole night. The next day, I confidently registered him and went to claim credit from the system. I followed your advice. I picked a name he won't like. Okay, you finally got it. From now on, your name is Lu Juyu. I laughed deviously for a few seconds. Hehe. The little guy hates rainy days, so I'll name him Juyu knowing rain. He must be furious. Dad, thank you for letting me have your last name. Something doesn't feel right. After he started elementary school, I ordered him to study hard. Lu Juyu was obedient and started to become much more steady. He no longer spent his days shouting, "I love Dad." As soon as he got home, he did chores and finished his homework, helping me make the bed before going to sleep. See? We've really become distant, haven't we? It shows the wicked parenting plan is progressing well. But I couldn't help but sneak into his room to see how he was doing. After school the next day, he walked over with 2 corn dogs. Where did you get the money? Didn't Dad secretly put it in my backpack? I put them in there by accident. Then Dad also did it by accident the day before yesterday. Also by accident last week. And by accident last month too. Besides, this is all junk food. Who told you to eat it? While he watched me with hopeful eyes, I ate all the corn dogs in just a few bites. 2 hours after getting home, I brought my own homemade corn dogs into his room. See? This is what you call healthy. Lu Jiuyu didn't say anything, but his eyes were shining bright. He ate the corn dogs until they were all gone. What are you doing now? What do you know? I was just letting him test it for poison from me. I left the room feeling satisfied. Lu Jiuyu is very smart, scoring full marks almost every time. Finally, in the 3rd grade final exam, he only got a 98 in English. How can you be so careless? Why did you throw away those 2 points? I'm sorry, Dad. I'll be more careful next time. Lu Jiuyu hung his head to apologize and walked into his room in silence. Hey, this is good. Before I could finish my sentence, I was already watching Lu Jiuyu's back and silently shed tears. Oh God, what have I done? You didn't do anything special. A few minutes later, Lu Jiuyu, who came to the kitchen to cook, saw me squatting in the corner crying. I immediately stood up, wiped my face. Dad, you're crying again. I'm not crying. It's just the cooking fumes. Dad, I'll score full marks next time. You know what? I know you love me very much, Dad. I stiffened up and secretly hugged his shoulders. Aren't you supposed to discipline him? Shut up. This is called playing the pig to eat the tiger. Once he trusts me completely, I'll hurt him deeply. But after waiting for a long time, I never got that chance. Instead, I found Lu Jiuyu crying when he got home. It had been a long time. A very long time since I last saw Lu Jiuyu cry. As soon as he got home, he slumped onto the table. What's wrong? Ziyu, tell Dad. Is someone bullying you? I paced around anxiously. After much coaxing, he finally cried and opened up to me. They said I'm not Dad's biological son. Is that all? I let out a sigh of relief. Yeah. You were just something I found by a trash can. Lu Jiuyu was stunned. Is that for real? Yeah, it is. I was very calm. I often tell him that he was found by a trash can, but he never thought it was true. He pouted, about to cry again. So what? Lu Jiuyu's brain was overloaded. He stopped crying. Have I been good to you? Yes. So didn't I raise you for all these years? So what if you're not my biological child? Does it change anything about our current situation? Lu Jiuyu thought hard for a long time. No. So there you go. This was originally a very difficult question that could have caused severe emotional damage to the real daughter. Don't worry. I have my own rhythm. The next day, and Lu Jiuyu went to school. Those annoying buzz mocked him again for being a foundling. So what if I am Liu Xiaohao? Your clothes are all dirty. Your parents don't even teach you how to wash them. They must not love you. Zhou Dabao, you always come in last, and your parents don't even care. They must have given up on you. Song Yaozu, you eat junk food every day, and your parents don't even stop you. They definitely don't worry about your health. The 3 kids looked at each other. Their faces flushed red. Well, you're still a foundling. So what? My dad loves me. So what do I have to fear? The days for Lu Jiuyu and me just continued on like that, day after day. With his excellent grades, he got into the best middle school in the city. For high school, I was excited and moved him into a place near the high school. When Lu Jiuyu found out the rent was expensive, he volunteered to take on a tutoring job. But I panicked. Absolutely not. Why not? Tutoring will affect your studies. And if you don't get into a good university, you won't be able to earn money to support me. That makes sense. Oh. I breathed a sigh of relief, but I was afraid he might have actually listened and dropped out to work to support me. I can support you for a few more years. No problem. This is called a long-term investment. I'm going to school. Thanks, Dad. I took out a new backpack and tossed it to him. Here. I found it on the road. Dad, I can still use my old backpack. Just use what I give you. Why are you talking so much? Lu Jiuyu smiled and took the backpack. Before leaving for school, he poked his head in and said, Dad, I want to eat a corn dog. Got it. That evening, I was waiting at the school gate early with the corn dog, preparing to pick him up. A car that looked extremely expensive pulled up to the school gate, amidst the surprised and envious stares of the other parents. 4 people stepped out. The couple leading the way looked very well-groomed, dressed in jewelry and finery. The other 2 appeared to be brother and sister. The younger sister was gripping her brother's sleeve with a nervous expression. The brother looked around with disdain, as if he was too good to be standing with people like us. The system that had been silent for a long time suddenly spoke up. The Su family has come to pick up the real daughter. I froze in place. The system once said, when I raised Lu Jiuyu until he was 16, his biological parents would come for him. But I didn't expect this day to come so suddenly. I subconsciously wanted to step forward. But I looked down at my outfit, wearing flip-flops, a $30 t-shirt, my hair slightly messy, and holding two corn dogs in my hands, a stark contrast to Lu Jiyu's family. I pursed my lips. There was nothing to do. 2 minutes later, school was out for the day. Lu Jiyu stood across from me, with a clean, high ponytail and a school uniform, sleeves rolled up in the evening, exposing his sturdy forearms. He seemed to have something happy to share with me, his eyes shining bright. Looking around eagerly, he knew I would definitely come to pick him up. But I couldn't help but instinctively hide behind the crowd. Before Lu Jiuyu could find me, the Su family found him first. They seemed to have investigated Lu Jiuyu beforehand, so they knew what he looked like. Mrs. Su stepped forward first, tearfully calling out to him softly, "Is that you?" "Excuse me, ma'am, you have the wrong person." Mr. Su followed closely behind, looking Lu Jiuyu up and down, while explaining, "I am Su Ziming from the Su group. Your name is Su Anan, and you are our biological daughter. We are here today to take you back." People around started to stare. Lu Jiuyu took a deep breath and awkwardly took a step back. What is this? A hidden camera prank show? I still have to go home and cook for my dad. Can you guys find someone else? Mrs. Su gasped in shock, as if she had heard something terrible. You have to cook at home. My poor daughter. What kind of hardship have you been going through? Lu Jiuyu, who was trying to be polite, frowned upon hearing this. Before she could react, that girl who looked like a little princess walked forward. She wiped her tears and bowed to Lu Jiuyu while sobbing. "I am sorry. For so many years, I took your place. But Mom and Dad have pampered me all these years. I really don't want to leave them. Can you please not send me away? As long as you don't send me away, I'll be your servant." But this is the Su family's daughter lost for 16 years, meeting for the first time so carelessly, no matter what. It shouldn't be at the school gate, in such a crowded place, right? They even made the fake daughter apologize in public while looking all pitiful. Do they not care about Lu Jiuyu at all? The system sensed my desire to intervene and warned, "Don't go over there. Wait for him to come home, and you'll get your money." I clenched my fists to suppress my anger. Then heard another voice, "Mingju, you don't need to be so humble." The bull held Su Mingju's shoulders with concern, then blocked Lu Jiyu's path. "Is this how you treat your family?" I guessed he wanted to look down on Lu Jiuyu, but Lu Jiuyu has been well nourished all these years, and is as tall as the bull. The guy could only try to intimidate Lu Jiuyu. "Mom and Dad have been looking for you for years. Do you have any conscience or manners? Mingju is apologizing to you while crying, and you don't even react. Are you cold-blooded?" Lu Jiuyu couldn't take it anymore. She took a deep breath and shouted at the security office, "Uncle Security, someone is harassing me." Lu Jiuyu has a great personality and high emotional intelligence. Whether it's teachers, students, or the cafeteria lady, the security guard really liked him. And at his command, the curious security guards immediately waved their steel forks and stepped forward. "Back off, back off, back off." Ha ha ha. The pampered Su family members had never been treated like this before. While they stammered out their explanations, they kept retreating. Lu Jiuyu took advantage of the chaos to bypass them. He quickly scanned the crowd and locked onto my location. Like a lively little bird, he bounced toward me. Seeing the corn dog in my hand, "Dad, you're eating junk food again." With a displeased look, "Nonsense, I made this myself." Lu Jiuyu squinted his eyes and looked closely at the corn dog, convinced that it was bought outside. Whenever you fry corn dogs, they always get a little burnt. Keep it down. It's not exactly something to brag about. Didn't I bring a portion of this junk food for you too? Thanks, Dad. I grabbed his hand and walked hurriedly toward home without looking back. I didn't dare to look back. It felt like as soon as I turned around, the Su family would catch up to us. On the way, I asked him how his day was. "I had a great day today. There's a parent-teacher meeting for the finals. I have a surprise for you." He paused, looking a bit troubled. But when school ended, I ran into a family of nutcases at the school gate. They kept insisting that my name is Su Anan. I have heard of the Su group, but how could I possibly be their daughter? My heart tightened. I tentatively asked, "What if you really are?" Lu Jiuyu suddenly stopped in his tracks. Under my nervous and uneasy gaze, he answered seriously, "If they really are my family, then I will definitely send them to the best mental institution for treatment." I was amused and started laughing. A while later, I couldn't help but say that they are very rich. Lu Jiuyu nodded solemnly. "Yeah, I will send them for treatment, and then donate the money to people who are more useful. Can people in their mental state even spend it wisely? It's better to let someone else spend it for them." I nodded in deep agreement. "Daughter, you are so insightful." Lu Jiuyu curled her lips It's thanks to Dad's good teaching. The two of us chatted like that, all the way home, full of laughter. But just after I finished making dinner, an uninvited guest knocked on the door. I didn't need to guess to know the Su family had come knocking. I knew this day would come sooner or later. Just as I was about to stand up, Lu Jiuyu was the first to rise, with a calm expression. Dad, let me open the door. The four members of the Su family were standing neatly outside the door. Mrs. Su was afraid he would close the door, so she quickly took out his birth certificate and grabbed his hand, crying, An. Everything just now was a misunderstanding. I really am your biological mother. Lu Jiuyu looked back at me. I avoid his gaze, so come inside and talk. Lu Jiuyu lowered her eyes and stepped aside to let them in. After the farce that just happened, the family's attitude became a bit more distant, but also a lot more normal. This is your brother, Su Lingshan. He is 3 years older than you. Mrs. Su introduced her family. This is Su Mingju, born 1 hour after you. Back then, the nanny and I gave birth in the same hospital. She secretly swapped our children, and then threw you away. Not long ago, we only found out that Juju is not my biological daughter. We immediately used all our connections to investigate. It wasn't until yesterday that we got news about you. Mom never thought you were living a life like this. Mrs. Su looked at the decor in the house, her crying voice filled with unconcealable disdain. How can people live in a place like this? Lu Jiyu's face turned cold. Why can't they live here, in Lu Jiyu's heart? This home is something he and I decorated piece by piece. In the summer, we sat together in front of the second-hand air conditioner eating watermelon, enjoying the breeze in the winter. We held a hot water bottle, snuggled on the old sofa watching TV together. Good night. What kind of tone is that? Su Ziming was losing patience, especially with Lu Jiuyu, who had disrespected him as a father twice in a row. So disrespectful to his elders, and oblivious to proper etiquette. Nothing like anyone in our Su family at all. He slammed the table immediately, knitting his brows and glaring at Lu Jiuyu. No need for more nonsense. You are coming back with us right now. Su Mingju quickly rubbed Su Ziming's back. Dad, please don't be angry. You should give my sister some time to pack her things. Humph. What is there to pack in this dump? Su Mingju looked at Lu Jiuyu again, her voice soft and sweet. Please apologize to Dad. Dad has a weak heart. Don't upset him. Mom and Dad really want you to come home. We have prepared so many gifts, jewelry, and high-fashion dresses. I picked them all out carefully. Su Lingshan on the side chimed in. Mom, Dad, and Mingju have worked so hard to prepare 16 birthday gifts for you. Looking at it now, it was really a waste of effort. Lu Jiuyu sat to the side, chuckling coldly at the remark. I think your family is quite harmonious, singing in such perfect harmony. You don't seem to need me, do you? My dad and I are doing just fine. No need for you to worry about us. Please head back. This matter is not up to you. Since you are the flesh and blood of the Su family, we cannot let you stay out there. The Su family can afford to raise Mingju, and we can afford to raise you too. As for your foster father, the group finally deigned to give me a glance. Su Ziming's tone carried a hint of a threat. We will not treat you unfairly. Mrs. Su pulled a card out of her bag, placed it on the table, and slid it toward me. This is your compensation. There are 10 million in here. Thank you for raising her. There wasn't much gratitude in his eyes. It was more of a professional transaction, even tinged with a hint of disdain. I could tell. He was not satisfied with the Lu Jiuyu I had raised. He preferred a daughter like Su Mingju, who was obedient and sensible, who knew how to act cute and please people. But in my eyes, my Jiuyu is the best child in the whole world. I clenched my fists, just about to snap. When I heard the system's voice, host, don't be foolish. Those are her real biological parents. And you raised her for 16 years. Wasn't it all for a day like this? Once the real daughter goes home, the system will give you another sum of money. Isn't this what you wanted in the beginning? I bit my lip. This was indeed what I wanted in the beginning. But after so many years, Lu Jiuyu has become a part of my life. I cannot cut her out. Just like I cannot give up my own life. The moment I looked up, I locked eyes with Lu Jiuyu. She watched me quietly, waiting for my answer. Those eyes were like a pair of obsidian stones, calm, yet filled with hidden strength. That is the image I carved out with 16 years of heart and soul. 16 years of love, bit by bit. I don't want to give up. Under everyone's gaze, I opened my mouth, but the system reminded me again. Host, have you considered this from the child's perspective? Perhaps they have a large family business. When she returns home, she will have everything. But with you, she can only live in a rented apartment, wearing cheap goods, and having to help you cook and clean. At such a young age, she carries heavy burdens, but back at the Su family, she won't have to worry about paying rent, or having no money for extracurricular activities, and she will have many people to serve her. Are you really going to let her suffer and struggle with you, just for your own selfishness? I froze. Everything the system said made sense, but as soon as I looked at Juyu, every detail of the past 16 years flashed before my eyes. I couldn't help but argue in my heart that they aren't treating Juyu well at all. It's their first time meeting today, and the whole family is already busy giving a 16-year-old girl a hard time. I want Juyu to go home and enjoy a good life. not to go somewhere else and keep suffering. I tried to convince myself that if Juyu were the one choosing, she would definitely choose to keep living with me. She is only 16 years old. How could she know the importance of money and power? But you are already an adult. You should know that this is just a necessary path for her. She is the real daughter. She needs to be refined and polished, winning everyone's love through her own actions again and again. After the hardships comes a lifetime of happiness. Do you want her to suffer a long pain or a short one? I fell silent. I couldn't find any excuse to refute the system. Jiyu's reliance on me is because for 16 years, I have been the only family she could rely on. What I have truly given her is very little, and the fact that the Su family treats her poorly must be because they don't understand Jiyu yet. Once they spend more time with her, they will definitely be just like me, thinking that Jiyu is the best girl in the world. Under Jiyu's gaze, I reached out and silently took the bank card. Mrs. Su was very satisfied with my compromise, and immediately looked at Jiyu, as if saying that he has already given up on you. You have nowhere else to go. I didn't know how to explain this to Lu Jiyu, so I just kept my head down. But as I said, Jiyu is a sensible and good child. Without asking a thing, she guessed my choice. She stood up and silently went to her room to pack her luggage. 5 minutes later, she came out carrying her new backpack, bringing almost nothing else with her. Seeing her so decisive and obedient, the expressions of the Su couple softened a bit. Mrs. Su took Jiyu's hand. Let's go. Su Mingju didn't seem to expect Lu Jiyu would go home so easily. Sister, it's great that you can let go of the past. She glanced at me and spoke as if it were unintentional. But uncle raised you for 16 years. Don't you want to say goodbye to him? Lu Jiyu said nothing, but I regretted it. Memories rushed back into my mind, making me move my feet uncontrollably. The system screamed in my brain, don't go over there, let her go home, even if you want her to stay. Do you even have the ability to do so? If the Su family just moves a finger, you will die miserably. This isn't right. I shouted back in my mind. Actually, I do think she should go back, but I shouldn't be the one choosing for her. I haven't asked her yet what she actually wants to choose. I grabbed Lu Jiyu's wrist, raising that bank card, staring nervously into her eyes. Jiyu, I haven't asked you yet. Do you want to go? If you don't want to, Dad doesn't want anything, even if the Su family sues me in court. I don't care. I know. Jiyu definitely doesn't want to go. Those eyes of hers were clearly filled with reluctance, but under everyone's anxious gaze, Lu Jiyu pushed the bank card back into my hand and shook her head. Uncle Lu, is it not enough money? I was stunned. Lu Jiyu looked down. I held her hand and didn't pull away. She just repeated the question. Is it not enough money? She looked at Mrs. Su again. Mom, Uncle Lu has indeed been very good to me all these years. Mrs. Su immediately understood. Smiling, she took out another card and handed it over. I'm sorry, it was my oversight. There is another 5 million here. You take it. I didn't say anything, but my heart grew colder bit by bit. Yet, just a moment ago, I so decisively took the money and let her go. And now I'm pulling a stunt like this. Besides thinking the money wasn't enough, is there any other possibility? Seeing that I didn't react, Jiyu stuffed this card into my hand as well. I slowly loosened my grip and forced a smile. All right. As for you, in a moment I must go see my daughter-in-law. Before I could finish my sentence, Lu Jiyu had already turned and walked out. I immediately ran to the balcony. Watching her get into the car, I suddenly couldn't help but run back to the bedroom and burst into tears. I cried for a full hour before the system dared to speak. Host, stop crying. You have already completed your mission. In a moment, I will give you another 10 million. From now on, you are a first-generation millionaire. Shut up. I cried and scolded it. Do you really have no feelings at all? Wasn't she someone you also watch with your own eyes, growing up bit by bit? The system fell silent for a while, seeming to have made some sort of decision, tentatively saying, if you really miss Jiyu that much, I can exchange your bonus money for a tracking lens. From now on, whenever you miss her, you can just turn on the lens and watch her. My sobbing stopped abruptly. I did a sit-up with the agility of a carp. Then I want to watch right now, in the lens. It was the quiet family in the car. Uncle Lu calls you Jiyu. Is that right? I think NN sounds better. But if you aren't used to it, we can call you Z for now. No need. I prefer the name NN. Mrs. Su nodded, very satisfied. Su Mingju on the side saw this and pursed her lips, suddenly smiling as she began to speak. Sister must have seen through the nature of Uncle Lu, which is why she was willing to leave. Sister, you are truly heartless, to be able to just leave like that. I really admire your composure. Sister, Lu Jiyu's calm gaze landed on her face. Su Mingju felt unnerved by the look, but still had to maintain a smile in front of her family, until Lu Jiyu said gently, yes, I saw through Uncle Lu's true nature, and I also saw that Mom and Dad are genuinely here to bring me home. It's the same for you, isn't it? Su Mingju was stunned for a moment. What do you mean the same? Lu Jiyu patiently explained. Aren't you the nanny's daughter? And you are still living in our house right now. It must also be because You saw through the vicious nature of your biological mother, and were taken in by mom out of kindness. But the difference between us is, you chose to leave your biological mother, while I chose to return to my biological mother's side. Jiuyu leaned gently against Mrs. Zhu's shoulder, looking at Su Mingju with a brilliant smile. So you should have more courage than me. Watching the scene before me, I couldn't help but laugh through my tears. She called you vicious, yet you can still laugh. It doesn't matter. I wiped away my tears with a voice full of pride. As long as Jiuyu doesn't fall behind, even if I am vicious, so what? From that day on, whenever I was free, I would open the lens. At first, I was worried that Jiuyu wouldn't be able to protect herself after going back, and would be bullied by the whole household. But gradually, I dismissed this doubt. In the first week back home, Su Mingju cried to Mrs. Su, saying Jiuyu stole something. Jiuyu said nothing. She pulled up the footage from the surveillance camera she had installed in her bedroom, discovering that Su Mingju had framed her on purpose. 1 month after returning home, Su Linshan complained to Su Ziming, saying she had touched his important documents without permission. Jiuyu silently brought out a schedule, explaining she had been helping dad with tasks all month long. Su Linshan was severely scolded by Su Ziming. After several such incidents, the couple became increasingly satisfied with Lu Jiuyu. Mrs. Su even took her hand and said, feeling heartache, both children have been spoiled rotten. You are the only sensible one. You've had a hard time these past days. Lu Jiuyu shook her head obediently. It's nothing. We are all one family. I only hope they will not say those hurtful things anymore. Mrs. Su was stunned. During breakfast the next morning, Su Lingshan and Su Mingju joined forces to complain, claiming that Su Mingju only touched that old, broken backpack of Jiuyu's, and Lu Jiuyu kicked her out of the room with a cold face. It shows that Lu Jiuyu doesn't genuinely want to stay here. It would be fake to say the couple didn't doubt it. Lu Jiuyu, however, said softly, I think, whether a person is sincere or not, should not be judged by what they say, but by what they do. The couple stared at him for a while. Su Ziming suddenly asked, did the Lu man teach you this? Lu Jiuyu did not refute, but nodded generously and admitted, yes. Although Uncle Lu is greedy for money, he taught me many principles, and it is precisely because of this that I can better become your daughter. I have already let go of the past. I hope my brother and sister can also let go soon. The couple looked at each other, both seeing astonishment and appreciation in each other's eyes. On the other side, I also silently shed tears. Are you sad because of his evaluation of you? I shook my head, no longer bothering to explain to the system. In the days that followed, Lu Jiuyu gradually gained Su Ziming's favor. She learned things very quickly. Whether it was company affairs or social interactions, she handled everything flawlessly. Even projects that Su Lingshan could not handle, she could master quickly. Her status in the Su family rose steadily. Until 1 month later, Mrs. Su suddenly fell ill and needed a transfusion. Lu Jiuyu, who shared the same rare blood type, chose to donate blood without hesitation. On my end, I cried out of heartache, secretly buying many supplements, but not knowing what excuse to use to send them over. Pacing around in anxiety, before I could think of a reason, I saw a drama unfold in the hospital room. It started because Su Lingshan botched a big partnership. As soon as Su Lingshan entered the war, Su Ziming pointed at his nose and scolded him for being useless. I have taught you hand in hand for so many years, and yet you are not as good as An, who just started contact with the family business. Lu Jiuyu, while pale, tried to mediate. Dad, please don't be angry. Brother, if it's really not working, let me try. This remark was like adding fuel to the fire. Su Lingshan instantly exploded. Don't think you are so great. You are just a blood bank. If it weren't for mom getting sick, how could we have possibly brought you back? Once these words were out, the room fell into dead silence. Su Ziming and Mrs. Su were both panicked. Looking nervously at Lu Jiuyu slowly lowered her head, gasping for air under everyone's gaze. Mrs. Su quickly grabbed her hand, explaining hurriedly, don't listen to his nonsense. How could mom ever treat you as a blood bank? I didn't know I would get sick either. Mrs. Su wanted to continue her excuses, but when she met Jiuyu's eyes, which were insightful and filled with a sense of brokenness, she couldn't say another word. But what shocked everyone was, the next second, Jiuyu held Mrs. Zhu's hand and revealed that in Mrs. Zhu's hand lay an amulet quietly. This is what I knelt before the Buddha last night and spent a whole day in night weaving by hand. Her voice was very soft, but it hit everyone's heart heavily. Mom, you don't need to lie to me. Even if you really treat me as a blood bank, I am still willing to donate for you, simply because you are my mom. Mrs. Su was stunned, suddenly hugging Jiuyu tightly, crying her eyes out. Su Ziming on the side was also deeply moved, turning around to secretly wipe away his tears. I, on the other side, stared at the scene in a daze. Host, this is so touching this time. Why are you not crying instead? I rubbed my eyes. I couldn't cry, because I recognized the amulet in Mrs. Zhu's hand. It was one that Zhu Yuan I wanted to sell at a street stall the year before last. An amulet we bought in bulk online, 10 for $9.90, including shipping. From that moment on, Lu Jiyu's status in the Su family grew even higher. Mrs. Su trusted and doted on her. Su Ziming also shifted his focus of cultivation from Su Lingshan to Lu Jiyu. Instead, seeing Jiyu living like a fish in water in the Su family, I also gradually set my heart at ease. It was just that looking at the empty house, I would occasionally still feel lost. Soon it was the end of the semester. Receiving the parent-teacher meeting notification sent by the teacher to the group, I suddenly remembered the day the Su family came to find us. Lu Jiyu said that when the end of semester parent meeting came, she would have a surprise for me. I went to the school with a just try it mentality. The homeroom teacher handed me a time capsule. This was when school first started. A time capsule buried by every student. After opening it, inside was a letter written by Lu Jiyu herself. The first line of the letter read, "Dad, I have a secret. Actually, I know your secret. In recent years, I have always been able to hear you talking to another of us. I didn't want to tell you originally, because you were always praising me in your heart. I loved hearing it very much. I also didn't care what my true identity was. I only knew that Dad would never abandon me, and that was enough. But recently, I discovered someone was secretly following me. I thought I couldn't stay by Dad's side for too long. But please, Dad, trust me. I will definitely find my way back, just like how you found me back then." I was completely stunned. She actually knew about my existence. Wait. Why was the plot still progressing? This question was soon answered. The news on TV reported that the Su family was experiencing an economic crisis. At the critical moment, the 16-year-old daughter of the Su family took action to turn the tide. At this moment, both the system and I understood. The reason Lu Jiyu did this, leaving back then, was a last resort. Now finally, no one could control her anymore. Just then, I received a phone call from Lu Jiyu. "Dad, I want to come home. Can you come and pick me up?" I jumped on my e-bike and sped toward the villa area, crying and laughing all the way. The system didn't stop me either, and even guided me along a route with all green lights. From afar, I saw Lu Jiyu standing on the side of the road, with a suitcase. Mrs. Su and Su Ziming on the side were blocking her, not letting her leave. "Anan, if you leave, what will happen to the Su family?" Su Ziming had dark circles under his eyes. He obviously knew by now that this was all Lu Jiyu's doing, but at this very moment, he could only lower himself to beg Lu Jiyu, "Don't let the Su family business be ruined in one fell swoop." Mrs. Su was also tremblingly grabbing her hand. "Anan, I don't need you to donate blood anymore. Can't you just stay and accompany Mom for the remaining time?" Su Lingshan and Su Mingju stood on the side, their faces turning pale then green. Lu Jiyu saw me, and those black eyes instantly lit up. She pushed through the crowd, grabbed my hand, and we left. "Stop right there," Mrs. Su screamed. "She is my daughter. You cannot take her away." I paused my steps and looked back at her. "She is your daughter. Then let me ask you, where was she lost?" Mrs. Su. She stared at me intensely. "By the trash can in the alley behind the first hospital." Was that a recyclable or non-recyclable trash can? Mrs. Su was stunned, subconsciously answering, "It should be recyclable." Wrong. It was non-recyclable. I gripped Lu Jiyu's hand tightly. "Then this wasn't the one you lost her in." Mrs. Su quickly corrected herself. "Then it must have been non-recyclable." I remembered wrong. I nodded. "As long as you know it's non-recyclable, that's fine." 16 years ago, by the trash can, I found a precious little gemstone. He was on the verge of death. With a faint cry, I took him to the hospital for a checkup. The doctor said he had a rare genetic disease, and his survival probability was very low. Later, I managed to keep him alive. This gemstone was polished and refined. Everyone could see how dazzling and radiant he was. Even the owner who had thrown him away at the beginning came looking for him. But I always knew he didn't belong to anyone. Even though I was the one who saved him in the beginning, I would never set him into any jewelry. He deserved to shine freely. I returned home with Juyu. I bought this little house. I replaced the creaky wooden floor in the living room and repainted the walls. But I didn't touch Jiyu's room. Everything was just as it was when she left. You really could hear the conversations between me and the system. Lu Jiyu nodded. My face flushed red. Doesn't that mean my inner monologues every day were all heard? Lu Jiyu laughed and said, I only started hearing them in the last few years. Whenever Dad was feeling emotional, I could hear them a bit more clearly, especially on that day. When the Su family came to take me home, your repeated struggles were all heard by me. That day I was almost persuaded by the system. The system made a lot of sense, but there was one thing it was wrong about. Although I was only 16 years old, I understood the importance of money and power, and precisely because I knew I would not let them become an obstacle between me and Dad, I hugged Lu Jiyu tightly. My daughter is far more amazing than I imagined. She really is the best child in the world. Later, Lu Jiuyu got into the best finance program in the country and moved near the school. She went to school during the day and came back at night to manage the company. The Su family members were all as docile as quails. Not long after, Mrs. Zhu's condition relapsed, but this time she didn't ask Lu Jiuyu for blood. Instead, she requested to see Jiuyu. As a person nears death, she repeatedly gazed at Lu Jiuyu. If I had known you were so wonderful, I wouldn't have thrown you away. I really thought you couldn't raise An. Do you hate me? Lu Jiuyu shook her head. You gave me life and let me meet Dad. Mrs. Su was taken aback, then smiled in relief. Jiuyu, this name really suits you very well. After Jiuyu graduated, she gradually made the Su family's enterprise bigger and stronger. Yet at the peak of the company's success, she donated half of the shares. She smiled and told me, anyway, we won't be able to spend it all in this lifetime. It's better to let others spend it for us. In our free time, we travel the world. When she's busy working overtime at the company, I sell corn dogs downstairs. $2 each, with honest prices for everyone. Every day I save one for her. We chat and eat on the way home. Occasionally I also think of the system. After all, for a full 16 years, it watched Jiuyu grow up with me. But ever since Jiuyu came home, the system disappeared. Until years later, when the system suddenly appeared in my dream. Hey, transfer some money into this card from me. Have you turned to fraud? It's all your fault. You and Jiuyu changed my system code. I couldn't help myself and bound it to the director of an orphanage. Now he is no money, and the children are waiting to eat. I looked on with curiosity. How did Jiuyu and I change you? The system's language was vague. Under my persistent questioning, it finally threw out its operating rules. It said the last rule was one that appeared suddenly. First, let the host develop and grow according to the character profile. Second, do not take actions outside the plot. 10th, when love appears, the above can be ignored, because love is the highest priority.